Good morning, bedbreads and sleepyheads. Give me 1 minute. Apparently, Twitter has decided once again to just randomly kill my post for no reason whatsoever. So now I gotta go and repost that because this is the life that we live here. Fine, Twitter. You want to play this game? Then we'll play this game. But hello, everybody. I hope that you're having a good weekend so far. Did you keep it this time? All right, now you kept it. All right, there we go. Good morning and congratulations, Brian, on the 95. Let's go, buddy. Uno secondo. Just need to do one more thing and then we're finally set. That's that, that's that, that's that, that's that, that's that, and there we go. All right. Now we're ready. Good morning, bedbreads and sleepyheads. First of all, congratulations to Brian, Nyla, and Artifice for first, second, and third. Hello, Brian. Hello, Nyla. Hello, Artificer. How are you guys doing today? Hello, Minerva. I hope that you're doing well as well. Happy weekend. Happy weekend to you all. And that doesn't seem like too bad of a work shift, Brian. It's an 8.5 hour, but you get to knock it off at least. And you get Monday off. There you go. You're paying it forward, as it were. Hold on, something's wrong. Give me uno secondo, please. I'm sorry. I'm just a mess today. There we go. Got a stomach bug this weekend. I'm sorry to hear, Nyla. You did mention that yesterday you were feeling a little under the weather, so I presume that's just a carryover from yesterday? Right, there we go. There we go. Art glove on. And progress can finally begin. We're finishing up our last Lady Luna D drawing today, and we're going to probably try to start with not the big boss, if we can. There we go. And thank you for the hydrate, by the way, Trujan. I appreciate that. How are you doing, Trujan? I hope that you're doing well. There we go. All right. Now we can finally get back to this. Was thinking originally to maybe play a little bit more Obensewer, but I'm like, I really want to actually get these drawings done. So you know what? Let's keep going with the drawings. I think that might just be the better option here. And you know what? I think I'm making the right call. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't draw without first having my reference open. That's the final thing that needs to be done. Is where I was. There we go. Oh, when you just get lost. And it's like, oh, I am now unsure what I'm supposed to be doing. There we go. That will do just fine. For reference. Remember, kids, there's nothing wrong with using reference. All right. So spoilers, we're going to have probably a little bit of a rambly stream today because... Okay, well... I say that as if it's never not a rambly stream. But you know what I'm saying. I have some things I want to ramble about. Surprise. I was just an art meme bingo where one of the entries was using references cheating. Violence. Violence upon the individual who made this bingo. Violence upon them aggressively. That's not true. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions on things. Even if they're wrong. Oh, I've got the frickin' I've got the sass bug right now. Nyla's got the stomach bug. I've got the sass bug. Both dealing with some shenanigans right now. I think this hair needs to actually go a little bit lower. There we go. And then the other one should be here. There. And like that. Probably closer to here, actually. Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense to me. I don't know. I'm someone who has a very, very hard time drawing if I don't have reference. Like, I can't put what's in my head onto paper or onto the screen. Like, I just can't do that. It is incredibly difficult for me. And the thing about that is that brings, like, a certain degree of shame. Where it's like, well, why can't I do that? You know, maybe I should be forcing myself to do that. If I don't use reference, maybe I'll get better at it. But that just results in getting frustrated more and having a worse relationship with art than I already do. So there is just a point where it's just like, for just the sake of my progress in art, there just comes a point where you just got to be like, you just got to accept that this is the situation. Like, use the reference. It's fine. Just use it. It's just better for you. Like, this is what you need to do for art. That is just how it is. There's no point in being upset about it. So just do that. And I think that's where I kind of am at the moment. Just like, all right. Just start finding the little things that'll help you actually get stuff done. Which is hard because, you know, there's we're all people. We have our own little moments of pride, and humility can be difficult. And I know that I deal with that, where there's just this need to do it a specific way, even if it's the most difficult way. Because for some strange reason, that's what I've decided the way has to be. And, like, there's not really any amount of way to, like, talk myself out of it either. Like, the only real way to just, like, you know, the famous saying of the only way out is through. And in those scenarios, it turns into just a situation of just, well, we push through it, we white knuckle to the other side, and we hope that we learn a lesson, you know, that we can somehow find the awareness of our hubris and proceed to a new and enlightened stage of our lives. And if not, then we try again. It reminds me a little bit about the idea of a certain type of way that people view Buddhism. That the reason that you reincarnate is because you haven't found enlightenment yet. And that you will keep coming back until you find that like thing that you need to learn. And I feel like that happens just in reality for people as well, where you just think of a thing that you think you need to do, and then you do it impulsively and there's like an outward entity that hopes to some degree that you learn from the mistake that you're making. And if you don't, and you survive the mistake, that you'll do it again, and hopefully that time learn from the mistake. Mistake might not even be the correct word there, but it's the word that's currently permeating my mind specifically. Hold on. And thank you for the stretch, Cobalt, and potentially the hydrate. Very much appreciated. Hope that you're doing well. It was a bad habit, artist. Bingo. Got it. Okay, so it is exactly what we're talking about then, where it's like, no, you should use reference. Stop thinking in these ways that are not productive and inducive or conducive, is that the word I'm thinking of, to your general growth as an artist. I don't know. Thought process like that fascinate me. It's one of the reasons why I don't, how to say, I'm not a religious person, but I find religion fascinating. Because you can find little things in there, right? Where you find, and hello, not the big boss, how are you? Where you find these little, I guess nuggets is one way to describe it, of just like, enlightenment isn't the correct word, but like little nuggets of potential truth. And even if they're just your truth, they help you find your way through life. You know what I mean? Like, there's this very strange thought process that I've heard before from some people of faith that say that without religion, like, the golden rule couldn't exist. You know, the treat others you want like you want to be treated. And I think that that's a ridiculous way to think about human beings. Because with that logic, how did we even get here to begin with? But still having that bit of information is still helpful, you know? Like, even if it's something that you've already thought before, but you didn't have a way to word it properly. And then one day you mention to someone, just like, you know, I just try to approach people in a way that I would try to approach myself. And if someone goes, oh, the golden rule, you know, you have that now. And it's like, oh, there's a term for this. There's a way to solidify my idea that might up until that point have been this nebulous amorphous shape that can now be compressed into something. I don't know. I'm a little bit philosophical brained at the moment for some reason. I don't know why. And thank you, by the way, Edificer. Let me go look at it really quickly. I'm in introspection mode. Oh, no. I'm already hitting a lot of these, Artificer. You're hurting me. Hold on, I'll read these out loud. Unreadable name for your save file. Thinking that using references is cheating. 1 million work in progresses. Coming up with ideas, doing nothing. Forget to eat, sleep, etc. The urge to draw in the most inconvenient times. Hunched over desk like a gremlin. Forget own art style. Nearly finished piece. Hasn't saved the entire time. I'm really guilty of that. Fuck, wrong layer. Doesn't name layers. Too hard on self. Those last two definitely are a thing. Saves 100 tutorials. Uses none. Guilty of that. Backgrounds. Don't know them. Mildly guilty of that. Where's my pen / stylus? Guilty of that. 100 empty sketchbooks. Luckily not. Forgot to sign / watermark pieces. I never do that because I don't ever think about it. Stylus / pen death grip. Kinda. Zooms in. Focuses on details no one will see. Yup, very much that kind of a thing for me. Get distracted in the middle of drawing with another idea. Yup. Hides hands to avoid drawing them. That's why I draw chibis. Delicious anatomy. Doesn't want to give character clothing. Never experienced that one. Same face syndrome. Haven't experienced it, kind of, but I think I'm going to this year. And forgot to flip the canvas. Luckily, don't have that situation. That is quite the series right there. And hello, Avatar.
Yes.
Scotty, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? Don't you know?
None of this makes any sense, and frankly, none of this makes any sense.
I have some of those on the writing side. I get you, my dude. Who are you working on and why are they upside down? Oh, I'm finishing Luna D specifically because this is the last Luna D drawing. And oh, the bingo. Hello, Avatar. I didn't get any bingos when I did it. But I think only because I was lying to myself. Oh, like, I'm literally stating just like, yup, did that one. Yup, did that one. Yup, did that one. Don't do that one. Oh, luckily don't do that one. That one I can't do because I'm not good enough at drawing to be able to do that. Like, the one specifically that for that is like Delicious Anatomy doesn't want to give character clothes. It's like, I've never experienced that in my entire life. I am incapable of drawing anatomy. And also, congratulations. Cobalt for the 10. Let's go. Oh, and not the big boss for the 10. I was about to say, like, I swear it was not the big boss. Double champs. Let's go, boys. Because I can. But Scotty.
It's all fucking weep shit, right? And it doesn't make any sense.
This is how I feel. You can't take away my ability to feel emotions. You can't take away my ability to have tantrums. That is something you cannot do, you robot. That is going to bug me to the 9 hells and back. Thank you. Gotta start drawing the Delicious Anatomy to make the big bucks. I mean, honestly, Cobalt, unironically, occasionally in my head, it's just like, I should just really learn to just draw NSFW. And a couple of artist friends that I've just kind of like mentioned that to, they're just like, honestly, if you want to learn anatomy really fast, draw NSFW. And then there's a part of me that's like, fascinating. What would you non-diplom? What would you non-diplom if you started drawing those interesting comic books? What does non-diplom mean? Not the big boss. I'm not a clever man. In fact, to use my brand new sound redeem that I put in last night.
Everybody saw that. Everybody knows I'm an idiot.
Oh, pen name. Ooh. Oh, that's a great question. As like an NSFW artist? Oh, dang, that's hard. Sleepy Willy. Or should I say, let's go. I got it. First try. Not very inspirational. Oof. Oof. I thought it was funny. Deboning comics. Wow. Wow. Like reverse stripping. Yeah. It's the stripper version of clothes on, where they start in their underwear and without an expression of any kind just put on their clothing. Just shirt, pants, buttons, vest, coat, comb hair, walk away, no expression at any point, barely a blink. It's cold and unfeeling. There is no joy to be found here. Come out in a park. Literally just in scantily clad undies, and it ends with them with like 4 layers, and when there's the puzzled look of the viewer, they look back and they're like, there's a blizzard outside. Do you expect me to walk out there in the cold without adequate clothing? And then they throw an extra scarf on and walk out the door. That does it for some people. I mean, there is some... Nope, we're not going down that road. Nope, shush, Will. You shut your goddamn mouth. You made promises to yourself that you would keep your frickin' impulsive things in check. Now is the time to test the mettle of your promises. Do I actually like this? Yeah, we'll actually let it be. Look, we're at the point now where Luna D has stated that I am basically, like, the educator for her in terms of, like, NSFW content. Where she'll just be like, have you heard of this? And I'm like, yeah, it's this. Like, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know. I hear things online. I like learning things. I want to know what it is. I like understanding things. Luna isn't here right now. I know, but I'm just saying, if there's at least one person who can actively say, you are the reason I know most of the things, most NSFW things that I know, it's just like, maybe I talk about this stuff too much. Even if I talk about it in a chill way, where it's just like, yeah, it's just this. They're still just like that, like, I don't know if this is what I want. Do I want to be this guy? Do I want to be the next Professor... What is that guy's name again? He's a streamer. And, like, most of his streams are lessons on, like, the internet and, like, memes and... Oh, what is his name? Hold on. I am so not going to find this with what I just typed. Maybe this will get me to where I want to be. Professor Lando. There we go. I'm thinking of Professor Lando. If somebody in chat said it, I apologize. Yep, it's Professor Lando. That is who I was thinking of. Just like, am I going to become like the small-time Professor Lando? Oh, also congratulations, Artificer. Which one is it? Did you get the knockover one, or did you get the multi one? I have no idea why I know that given. I mean, same Cobalt. I've seen one of his videos. I don't even remember which one, but I'm aware of one of them. Excuse me. And once again, I will never understand why I can never get this through my thick skull. Oh my goodness, Artificer, please go get your friends together and knock it over. I believe in you. An interesting way to start the conversation, Desmond, but I appreciate the words. Though honestly, my efforts are not very high. I actually just do my dangdest to just, or I just am me and hope that people enjoy what is brought to the table. Cobalt is hesitant and cautious. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on them too. But let them cook. Let them cook for a bit. Let's see what we get in response. Can't just assume a negativity from one message. And in the process of that, I am going to try to see if I can figure this out just a little bit more. There we go. That's the angle. Though, Cobalt, you have more experience with bots than I think a lot of people do. Or at least you definitely come off as someone who's been like, yeah, I've dealt with those before. Drag of a cigarette. I've dealt with many of them in the past. From many perspectives, Cobalt is a jaded veteran. It's the curse of being. Ever since I got Siri bot, I don't think I've had a bot pop in here yet that has like broken through the firewall, as it will. But also, Desmond, if you are in fact not a bot, then I apologize for the way that we're talking right now. It's just very common, unfortunately, for messages like that to be read from that perspective. So we're being a little bit cautious. It has nothing to do with you personally. This is just the unfortunate nature of online at the moment. I can't just be the jaded detective who just breaks out the smokes because my mother would beat me. Well, what if you got like those Popeye sticks? You know what I mean? Those little white sticks that look kind of like cigarettes, but they're supposed to be candy. But if I remember correctly, they tasted kind of awful. Maybe not awful, but they weren't what you'd think of as candy. I think they were Popeye anyway. I'm pretty sure they were. I think they came in like a little red box with Popeye on the side. I think at least. I'm going to believe I'm mostly on the right in this thought process, so that I don't go into a whole situation of just like, well, now I gotta go Google it, and then we're gonna be doing it. We're in the Google zone, and you know, that turns into a whole fiasco of itself. I don't actually like this top. Let's try that again. Yeah, I think that's better, actually. I'm just saying, Cobalt, there are alternatives. You can still wear the famed noir badge and just not be the famed noir and just not carry the famed noir stereotypes or play on them in different ways. Also, I know why my brain is being mildly philosophical at the moment to some degree. It's because I've been listening to hardcore history again. And whenever I listen to hardcore history, my brain always just goes into mode. Especially since I'm listening to Supernova in the East at the moment. And just listening to that just always gives me the moments of just like, man. Like, I'm not terrible when it comes to like simple strategy games. But then you start hearing these like crazy approaches that like the military would need to do in order to do the things that they did, like intercept communication, figure out what to do with that communication, like figure out a battle plan with like limited information, like try to goat the opponent into specific movements. And that's just like one battle. Then you like break that up into like a theater, and it's just like there's situations happening where like if this is the theater that like, you know, if this is one side, hold on, we'll do this with the next line. If this is one side and this is the other side, that one side is charging in this direction to force this side to dedicate forces here, when in reality they're actually making an attack here, which again then thins and then strikes. And you know, there's people who are legitimately just doing the feint and attack here so that forces are being moved here, but in reality there's actually like a whole side attack thing happening here. Like there's just a whole, and hello Lunity, how are you? Like just stuff like that. Just I find that stuff so fascinating, but I just am always just a little bit sad that I don't think I have the brain for it. I love to think it, but I can't. But I can't process it the way that I would want to. And then you just start kind of going into that brain set, you know, where it's just like, okay, well, how do you approach that kind of thinking? At least that's where my mind goes. We're just like, okay, well, let's hypothetically, if I were to try to think like this, how would the approach happen? How would we get there? And it's just like, well, then you got to start thinking about military combat situations. And it's like, okay, well, in a war game, how would you approach this? And then the ADHD brain does what it does, and it tries to process like a million things that are unimportant and tries to pile on too much at once. And then at the end, you just get overwhelmed, and you're just like, I'm just going to hit play on the podcast again and just keep listening to the Battle of Midway. And just, yeah, I don't know. I like listening to hardcore history. It's probably one of my favorite podcasts to some degree. It's definitely up there. Listen to hardcore history. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, not the big boss. It's like you're not even listening to me. I'm feeling so unheard. Sorry, I just saw the little thing on my screen and just that was the list. So that was the button that I wanted to hit. I'm just surprised. I love hardcore history. I listen to them very frequently. Too much, one might say, considering that the podcasts are like several hours per episode. I do love my history or my military history podcasts. I did a paper on the battle. Oh, very nice. That's awesome, actually. My biggest weakness when it comes to that is I have a really, really hard time keeping the information in my head. So I'll like listen to the podcast and be like, man, that was cool. And then like a few months later, it's just like, I should go listen to that again because I don't really remember a lot of it. But that's actually really sweet that you did a paper on it. Did you do well on the paper? And by that I mean, did you enjoy doing the paper? Because heck it if you did well or not. It's if you enjoyed doing it or not. That's important. Was a huge World War II buff. See, the Pacific is where I know very little, which is why I like listening to Supernova in the East, because I'm like, well, this is something I don't really know anything about. Teach me more things. Teach me all the things, even. That I did follow up paper on the Battle of the Philippine Sea. I mean, that's just like, how to say it, that's history that you can relate to, right? Which is also nice. Like, I wrote a paper in history class about the Dutch World War II resistance, because, you know, why wouldn't I? I mean, I've told the story before about why it's a little bit closer to home for there, but like when I would visit my Opa sometimes, if we went out for like a car ride, there was a specific house that every time we drove by, my Opa would be like, that's where the NS Bayers were. This is where the NS Bayers were. And that's the NSB, which was the Nationalist Socialist, and I don't remember what the B stood for anymore, but they were basically like pro German World War II resistance, or not resistance. They were friendly to the occupation, and surprise, they were looked quite down upon by everybody else when the war ended. So that was one of those moments where it's like, well, what about the other side? What about the people who were actively trying to fight the German occupation? The Mariana Turkey shoot, though, that was boring. I actually don't know that one either, not the Big Boss. That research made me hate General MacArthur as a war hero and as a human being. Well, he was a very... The way that hardcore history has described General MacArthur is that he was kind of a diva. To some degree. And I think that that's just such a funny way to describe a war general. You know, like... He was a bit of a diva. It's just like, what a fascinating way to describe like a guy who is running, if I remember correctly, basically the entire Pacific military situation. I know that he is a very controversial. He is a very controversial boy. But there's a lot of peeps to that, in that, how to say it, in that arena, you know? Like, there's a lot of generals that are just like, how to say, where you definitely see either from yourself or from the leaders of that country's perspective, where they're just like, "Argh!" Like, he's so frustrating. About atomic bombs on the border of China and North Korea. You know, that's not surprising. That does not shock me, considering what I know about him. Not that I know a lot, but he's a fascinating boy. And Skylar, thank you so much for the coming by, and thank you so much for the subscriber. Pleased to make your acquaintance as well.
Welcome.
And thank you so much for the follow as well. That's very kind of you. I hope that you're doing well. Happy Saturday. 50 of them. You know, again, not surprising. The very, what's the thing? Oh no, don't think like that, Skylar. Don't think like that. It's a pleasure having new people here. Don't consider yourself bad for something like that. That's not something you have control over. Don't worry, I have ADHD, and it's pretty likely that I'm high-functioning autistic. Haven't been tested because the testing is very expensive for just getting a piece of paper that says, yep, you're right. That thing that you think is probably true. So don't think of yourself like that. There's nothing wrong with being neurodivergent. In fact, I will not stand for it. Hits desk aggressively. And yeah, not the big boss. That is not shocking whatsoever. It makes me think of like in World War I in Verdun, where they're just like, we must bleed the French white. You know, it's that has that kind of energy to it, where it's just like, this plan is crazy. It's gotta work. And it's like, it did not work. That's very sweet. Thank you. No worries at all, Skylar. I don't want people thinking that something that they don't have any control over makes them bad. Because by that logic, then I am bad. And maybe that's selfish to say, but and then of course brain immediately is like, yeah, you're not going to be able to finish that sentence. But no. Being neurodivergent is not a negative. It's what you do with it that defines who you are. Yeah, you don't stand for people being neurodivergent? What? I do stand for people being neurodivergent. What are you talking about, Cobalt? I am neurodivergent. Of course I stand with people that are neurodivergent. Do you like anime? I'm not a huge anime person, mostly because I have a hard time sitting down and watching things. That's specifically my my issue. So it's not so much that I have anything against anime or shows in general, it's I just have a hard time watching stuff. Hamtaro is good from the little bit that I've seen. I watched a bit of Sailor Moon. I watched a fair bit of Dragon Ball Z, actually. That I can't say much about. Mostly played the games more than not. Couldn't resist the urge. I mean, if I'm saying that if you're talking, I will not stand for it, people talking negatively about themselves for being neurodivergent. Perhaps I didn't clarify myself properly there. I'm saying that being neurodivergent has nothing to do with you as a person. That doesn't define your character. It would be ridiculous to do so. Heck, we would be dipping our toes into eugenics immediately, and that shit I ain't down with that shit. Yu-Gi-Oh's good. I like Pokemon. I did like some Digimon. Haven't gotten to see My Hero Academia yet. I did like the portions that I've seen of Death Note, and I couldn't get into Attack on Titan for some reason. Also, thank you for the hydrate, by the way, Cobalt. I mean, his strategy before the Japanese attack was to put all the airfield stations in one airbase and then retreat to Australia. When things got bad, I think thinks he can solo lead the entire Pacific operations, wanting to take over the naval operations as well. Ads incoming. Oh, thank you, Cobalt. I actually have that covered up by accident. Thank you for reminding me. Gosh, dang it. And not the big boss. I think all that I can say about that is, what a way to fail up. I think he does have some victories under his belt, but it's one of those, like, the people at the time really liked him, so it's really hard to, like, once he's kind of cemented himself in the situation of being, like, the face of the war in the Pacific, you know, it makes it very difficult to lock down or remove him at that point, because you could potentially sway public opinion negatively in that scenario, which is not great considering in at least the era that I'm at right now, or the year that I'm at right now in the podcast, it is a little bit like could go either way. Like the Japanese it would be arguable they're kind of on the back foot to some degree due to their resource situation, but they are definitely, like, if they get some good hits in on the American fleet, it's like that could potentially put America on the back foot. And then if suddenly the actual the American population starts going against the war effort and the US pulls out of the war, that changes history a lot, you know? Like, there's a lot of weird things that you got to think about there. Although I don't disagree with you that it is one of those boy takes credit for other boys' work. I'm pretty sure that happens fairly often. Right, everybody? We need to take a quick 3-minute break because unfortunately the servers demand payment. So we need to take a quick 3-minute ads. If you are new here, what we do is during those 3 minutes, we go to a BRB screen and we hopefully have you guys get up and stretch, grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself something to drink. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. I will be back ASAP. BRB. And we are back. All right, and I've lost. Oh, one more bingo. Where the heck is my freaking pen? I didn't take it with me, I think. Oh dear. Uno secondo, everyone, while I tried to find my... There you are. You freaking... You little devil, you. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you did, in fact, get up and stretch and grab yourself something to eat and grab yourself something to drink to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. I got myself a little bit more water. Who is your favorite YouTuber? That is a really hard question. Because I have several YouTubers for different things. For my TTRPG content, to some degree, I normally watch XP to level 3 because I just enjoy his content. Oh, goodness me. For, like, news stuff, I'm the basic boy who watches Philip DeFranco. For silly semi-political news, I listen or I watch RM Brown. Who else am I thinking of right now? Messy rice cooked. Oof. I gotta need to clean that later. Oh yeah, Scotty, I'm sorry I didn't say. What do you mean that the egg didn't go well, out of curiosity? I know that you were worried about that. I don't know. I don't think I have a number one YouTuber. I like diverse content of all over the place stuff. So unfortunately, Skylar, I can't answer that question consistently because my stuff is all over the place. And changes frequently. I just don't know how to cook egg. Was it a fried egg, like a boiled egg, scrambled egg? What were you thinking there specifically? Let's see. I think I hit all the notes here. All right, I'm going to do this differently this time. I'm going to just do... We're going to try this out. Where even? I see those are still there by accident, so that I get, but... I'm very confused by what's actually out there, so I'm just gonna place it back to where it's supposed to go and just presume that everything is fine. Just kind of throw it in the pan through seasons. Hang on, I pulled it out when it was no longer runny. Yeah, so it's basically a, what is it, like an over easy? Making eggs over easy without flipping. Learned it while playing Metal Gear Solid 4 of all things. Not the big boss. You absolute legend. God dang. Out here just like, yeah, I learned cooking from video games. Fight me. And I'm like, I wouldn't fight you, man. That's cool. I like that. I like the thought process. I like the cut of your jip. Yeah, we're gonna do it this way. Only run is this layer. No pixels. Bingo. I went crazy for a second. My drink disappeared, then reappeared. Nyla, I feel that. I feel that in my core. Where you're just like, no, it was right here. Like, it was right here. Like, you're angrily, like, aggressively, like, tapping on the spot where it definitely was just a moment ago. It's like, it was right here. I tried teaching it to Mrs. Not the Big Boss. She still needs more practice. Well, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 4, unfortunately, so I don't know the specific method for which you're referring to, so I can't be like, bah, but it's so easy, or, well, to be fair, it's actually really hard. But I know that I could go look it up at some point and be like, this is what he refers to. Fascinating. No, not blur the border. Nice attempt. Perfect. Hide. I watched the cutscenes for Metal Gear Solid 4. There's like 8 hours. Yep, that sounds about right. I remember way back in the day when a buddy and I were playing Dark Souls 1 together at his place, and another buddy came over and he was just like, yeah, I'm just going to play some Metal Gear Solid 4 if you guys are cool with that. You guys can keep playing. It's like, yeah, sure. So we're like all in the same room and just doing our thing. And I kind of like glance over and I see him starting a cutscene. And I'm just like, oh, man, like, enjoy the cutscene. He's like, oh, thanks, man. And then look back at the, like, go back to doing some, like, Dark Souls 1. And then getting some stuff and, like, looking over. And I'm like, oh, buddy, a new cutscene? And he just looks at me with these sad, defeated eyes and goes, no, it's the same cutscene. Oh, goodness me. Good chuckles. It's very easy. Small amount of oil in the pan. Put heat to medium high. Let the pan Make sure the pan is hot when dropping the egg in and cover with a lid for 1 minute. Basically, enough time to sing whatever Sunny is singing in the game. Ah, I see. Always wanted to be a movie director. True, when instead he made really interesting video games. Sounds like Genshin. Oh god, I could see Genshin doing that. I could see that, Scotty. I could visualize that. Boop, boop. Oh, goodness gracious me. I figured there'd be a couple of spots where I'd have to do some cleanup. That's the life we live here, boys and girls. And we are okay with it. I think for the most part it'll all be okay. I just have to color it in from here. Just the edges. Nothing too difficult. But we do want to do it. Xenoblade 2 has some 16 hours of cutscenes. God dang. That's a lot. Maybe I'll make a video and record it and then put it on your... Where's my GoPro? Oh, not the Big Boss cooking videos. Hype, 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 hype. I'm sorry to hear that, Scotty. But think of it this way, though. Now you have, like, what I would recommend doing at the moment is go write down the stuff that you think didn't go right, so that next time you can have those notes to look back on and be like, all right, here's some things that I need to pay attention to, like, the egg didn't turn out as good as I wanted it last time. You know? Let's make sure this. Yeah, let's make sure this is this, and then make sure that we don't overcook the chicken. We do this. Like, it's just something that I've been trying to do more. Like, actually write down. Oh, excuse me. Actually write down some of the things that I'm noticing. And be like, okay, I need to remember that. Or at least I'm trying to do that. The first step is me actually doing that, which is a whole other adventure. But, you know, one step at a time. But still, I'm glad that you still tried to make it. To quote the famous... Dog Jake, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of alright at something. I'll remember. Dangerous statement. A dangerous statement, Scotty. Mostly because I was just complaining earlier about how that's something that I do a lot. Where I've spent my entire life going, yeah, I'll remember. And hello, Caddy, how are you? Did you survive your big scary games? What am I saying? What a crazy thing to say. Of course you did. You're right here. How are you, by the way, Caddy? I hope that you're doing well. I remember cooking for some reason. Well, in that case, teach me your ways, Scotty. Teach me your ways. Because that's not how this boy's noggin works. Despite the fact that I wish it did. Teach me your remembering ways. Nah, it's just cooking. There's no ways. Dang it! Well, in that case, I need to do the plan that I want to do, which is stick a notepad in my kitchen and write it down. I ran around collecting treasures. I got nothing done. Excuse me, Caddy. I do believe what I'm reading there is, you got a bunch of treasures. That sounds like you got something done to me. Sounds like you got treasure. Which, as we all know, the most important thing to do in video game is gather treasure. How did I manage this? No. Oh, well, that's strange. Fascinating. Glad I noticed that. I use sticky notes and attach them to myself. Smart. Probably have something to do with me hating to make mistakes and remembering when I do. Scotty, I hate making mistakes too, and it still doesn't stick. So, allow me to be jealous of your superpowers. In fact, I'm not asking permission. I am, in fact, jealous of your superpowers. Actually, I wasn't asking. I'm sure that's an anime quote or something. American Online Instant Treasure. Oh no. AOIT. The famous treasure gathering service. I don't know how to feel about what I just said out loud. Man, I regret not just paint bucketing the whole thing. But I'm a little bit too far into it now to go further. We all cope with ADHD in our own ways. True enough. True enough. I'm not retracting my statement, though. I am still envious. Okay, when cooking rice, regardless of the amount of grains in the pot, always put 1 middle finger line amount of water over the top. I can visualize that. That's an easy thing to remember. Forgets anyway. No, Scotty. You can do art. You just need to do it, which is the hardest part. haven't invested in my art skills at all, you can still do so. That is completely possible. This time we're actually going to put the eye color in right away. We're going to try to slap the colors in real time. There we go. Base colors. And save, because we haven't saved yet. Use the technique around the world. It's a proven. Now, just so I'm clear, not the big boss, you're talking about the joint line? Like where your finger can bend? Think we could call? No problem at all, Brian. Please have yourself a good night. Have a great weekend, my dude. Enjoy your free Monday. Joint line. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, like, that makes sense to me visually. But I had to ask just in case, you know? Just in case there was some secret that I wasn't aware of. Well, I accidentally put the colors onto the wrong layer, so that's an embarrassment. Well, we just accept our situation as it is and we move on. All right, so now for the hair, we add the red on the tips of the hair. And we use and thank you for the hydrate, by the way, not the big boss. I appreciate that. Did I do Cobalt Stretch? I swear I did, but I'm also very good at not remembering things. So we'll do an extra long stretch for this one, just to make sure that I actually hit that note. All right. It's like a universal constant for me when I'm cooking rice, regardless of the amount. Half a cup till the first line of the middle finger. 12 cups to the line of the first line of the middle finger. It always is. All right, we're gonna reach up. And we're gonna lean to the right. A little bit longer than normal because I do think I missed Cobalt's stretch, and that's embarrassing. And we lean to the left. Really let that stretch happen. And we lean back. Pull shoulders just a little bit extra. Hello, Spencer. How are you? And we shake out our wrists. Wiggle our fingers. And shake out our legs. Actually, we're going to do something here. This will be just for me, but I'm going to try to sit for the next little while just with my legs straight forward. I remember the other day, I think I did this for like almost 2 hours. And then later that day was like, why do my legs hurt so much? What did I do? Took me an unreasonably long time to register why my legs were hurting. I will get back to the right layer at one point, I promise. How are you doing, by the way, Spencer? I hope that you're doing well. Hope the day is treating you kindly. I feel like I can do more with this front one. There we go. And no problem at all, Caddy. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for the lurk. Very much appreciated. Brother stopped by for a visit for this morning. Was it a good time? No, I hate my brother. I hope that's not the case. Me just being in a very strange mood right now. Very story-brained mood at the moment. Yep, I'm sorry. Is that legit? Did I accidentally correct? Please say it ain't so. But if that's the case, I'm sorry that that's the situation regardless. Never fun to be headbutting with, Yep, I bet it was a good video. Okay, thank God. Oh, Spencer, you had me going like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I'm glad it was a good visit. It's like, oh no, I've stumbled upon family drama. Crap. I'm not equipped to escape this. I don't know how to approach this properly. Ooh, excuse me. I'm glad it was a good visit, though. We appreciate the good family visits. And then we want soft light. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to reduce that because otherwise it's going to be so incredibly dark. Now I'm all kerfuffled because I feel like I can't even words right now. It's completely over. Stream's dead. Bye everybody. Go to end screen. For clarification reasons, that was a joke. Just the idea of somebody coming in being like, ah, this happened, and then there's a tiny little fumble on my part, and it's just like, it's over, give up, done. Will Ward's not. I mean, it's true. You hit the nail on the head. Nyla, I'm not a wordsmith. That poetry book I wrote is it's a lie. It's not even real. Still hasn't fully locked in mentally that I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's not anything crazy, but it is just, I don't think I've fully registered the fact that it's like, oh yeah, I actually, technically, have a book out in existence. Just like, oh, that's weird. That's weird. How do I even approach this mentally? Spoilers, you don't. You just kind of go, okay. That's pretty neato, I guess. That's pretty cool there. Detach, and we save again because we all know how my general situation works. I am, in fact, not always the best at remembering to do things. Nor am I good at following this line. Goodness gracious. Whoomp. The very long strand of hair. Nicely blended together. Which will do that. It's very nice that the other end is also just kind of that color, so I don't have to worry about going over that much. There we go. Actually, I don't like that. We're just not gonna have that. Oh, apologies. I don't know why, but streaming has become very, very tiring for me. And I don't know when it started, and I'm very irritated by it, because it's like, I really like streaming. I really like streaming. I like talking to you guys. I like engaging in the various topics that we have, but for some reason right now, like, I had a very decent, what would you call that? Stamina? Streaming stamina. I could go for like 4 to 6 hours relatively comfortably, and now it's just not there anymore. And I'm pretty sure it's just the time of year mixed with my med situation. But it's very disheartening, because it's like, I know how much I can do, And now I can't do that anymore. And it's like, why? Why? It's like, because that's just how it is right now. And it sucks. Oh, it sucks so much. It is just full, you can't do this right now, and there is nothing you can do about it. And that is incredibly frustrating. And again, nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. Just, you gotta ride the storm until it's done. But I'll be danged if it's not incredibly frustrating. Oh wait, I'm not doing this right whatsoever. Hold on. No. All that work, toss it aside. I'm not doing the lighting correct. Let me go find my reference. No, it's not tired, Nyla. It's exhaustion. It's mental health. It's just pass through the lights. Let that frickin' boy through. He's got to get to people. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry. There's been a lot of emergency vehicles that have been going by the last couple days. And it just always feels like people aren't letting them through. And it's just so frustrating. Like, just let them through. My goodness. Yeah, but it's mental health stuff for the most part. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. SADs are a really big pain in the ass that just make everything difficult. And it's very frustrating because it's like, yeah, but I could do this a couple months ago. And it's just like, yeah, well, you can't do that now. And also, you're not just going to randomly hit a point where you can go back to where you were. You got to build yourself back up to that. It's like, oh, how often do I need to do this? Oh, once a year. Once a year. Just, starting roughly January. Yep. How long does it take to get back? Yeah, late March. Can we skip that? No. That's how that works. Streamer's entire shtick is having difficulty sleeping, is having issue with exhaustion. But Spencer, it's not exhaustion from the state of not sleeping. It's exhaustion from I don't know how to describe it. I don't have a good metaphor for this. But yeah, it's not sleep exhaustion. It's year exhaustion. It's internal exhaustion. It's brain exhaustion. It's frustrating is what it is. It is annoying as hell, and I hate it is what it is. It is an unopt-outable feature that some people deal with, myself included, and all of us wish it was opt-out. Wow! Disco! Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. For 10 months too? Let's go, my dude. This boy spinning away. How are you doing, Disco? Thank you again. That's very kind of you. But what if Disco is the fake one? What if he's the imposter? You know. Also, Among Us reference here. Disco, we have questions. Disco, we just want to talk to you. We just want to talk to you. I want you to tell me a story. What kind of a story do you want to hear, Disco? About Skibbity Haya. Oh God, the problem is I don't really know Skibbity that well. So this is gonna be an adventure to try to tell. I mean, I guess that's basically brain rot Haya to some degree, so. Within the circuitries of one hyacinth one day, she looked out from her circuitry prison, mewing as one does when looks maxing like the Sigma they are. And lo, I do not know brain rot stuff enough to be able to do this easily, but gosh dang it, I'm trying. And just pumps it out, pulls it out their ass every time. I'm telling you, Spencer, there are people out there that have a lexicon. They understand what's happening. I'm doing my best right now with very little. And though she dust fell like she was in fact maxing the looks, increasing her Riz skill, she did not feel the Sigma flow like she used to. And she pondered the cause. Was it the... Oh, God, what is it called again? The something tax? It starts with an F. I know most of it unwillingly. I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm trying based on just my brief glance once upon a time reading Brain Rot Girlfriend. Phenom tax. There you go. Could it have been the phenom tax that her chat has been putting on herself? Perhaps the lab staff had been putting gooning software once again into her programming. No matter what it was, she knew in fact that her... I can't finish it. I'm dying saying this. I'm doing my best and I can't. Oh no, not the gooning software. Nope. That's the best. That's the best you get, Disco. You get an unfinished story. 'Cause I died. I died saying that story. I'm dead now. Now we'll keep it the way it is. I just want to smooth it out just a little bit more. Will lives not. It's true, I died. Disco killed me with the request for brain rot. And I'm sitting here trying to tell this story, and he's like,
You truly are despicable, brother. I will not trust your lies.
and I'm out here trying like,
Everybody saw that. Everybody knows I'm an idiot.
true story. That's what happened just now. I hope everybody enjoyed whatever the frick that was. Actually, for a nice contrast, I think we're going to brighten the hair a little bit. Oh, that's too bright. And it's true. I died just now. You were all there. You saw it. Genuinely, I'm glad I have the attention span of a mouse. You know what, Nyla? I'm happy, too, that that's the case for you. So you didn't have to hear gestures aggressively at the last, like, 15 minutes. That. Whatever that happened to be. Disco, you're a menace. Oh, sweet. All right, so we got boop. Nope, we do not, in fact, have boop. Also, Disco, if you tell anybody that I said what I said, I will deny it and will call you a liar. Why are you being like this? Smug Luna looking cute. Trying my best, not the big boss. Trying my absolute best. Wait, what is happening here? Oh my goodness, that explains so much. I'm sitting here, why does this not make sense? Because I'm straight goofing right now. I'm goofy gooberin', one might even say. I mean, technically, if I just do this and this... there. And then we need to do the cool little trick that I saw there. For Lunity, it's going to be a little bit harder to do what I want to do, but we can make it work. Oh, we can do this again. What was it? J. Do we have the fingerprints? We don't, but we can. We might need to do multiples of those then. There. This is all shaded. That one is not going to be shaded on purpose, and I definitely want this to be like this. And then for this part, take the red, we make it a lot. No, that doesn't work. Probably just blurring it will be the better option there. I was hoping that maybe I could make the... Yeah, I'm alright with that. Gives a little bit of extra shine there. Probably means that this shadow needs to actually soften up a little bit too, because it's rounded, so... Which means that this side also needs shadows. Right. And now, it's the eyes. Oh! Apologies if you actually hear all those cracks and pops and miserable sounds. Oh, in this case, I guess I could actually just use the soft light technique here as well and just go. Oh, but it doesn't work. Then we use... Oh, that's why. There we go. Now we got it to work. Also, ads are coming up again. Surprise. So we will be needing ads. Pause in a second, so I apologize. And thank you, Cobalt. I was just talking about it. And thank you for the stretch and the subsequent hydrate, I presume. So I will be doing the stretch and I will be doing the hydrate. Nope. We will be taking the break. That is what I was just saying. So you have come in at a good time. But I just need to do one thing really quick first. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. So you wanted them paused? No, no, no. We're going to take them. We're going to take them and yeet ourselves into the server payment zone, which is what the 3-minute ads are. So everybody, when we take a tiny little break, when we come back, we're going to finish Lunity's art. Depending on how much energy levels I have, we may start Not the Big Boss's art, or we may finish this up and then call it. I don't know where I'm sitting yet. I'm feeling the dip, but we're going to see where we are. For now, though, we need to take a quick 3-minute break. If you guys can and are able to, I hope that you get up and stretch, grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself something to drink. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. I'll be back ASAP. BRB. All right, we're back. Wah! Ugh. And yeah, I'm sorry, not the big boss. It's so... Again, as I said, it's so frustrating because it's like, no, I used to be able to just do this. Why? Like, it's just that full... How to describe? It's that having to accept the means and work within them. And it's like, and now we all get old. That's the thing, though. It's not old. It's just the time of year. It's just the shitty time of year where, like, I have to accommodate for certain things. And it's just like, it's very, very frustrating. Now it takes 4 months. Hey, I feel that. I still have a little scar on my bicep that is slowly fading, but it's not quite there yet. Oh yeah, and we also got to do the makeup. It would be very embarrassing if we didn't do the makeup, actually. So let's start. With the star. Yeah, it just sucks though. That's the summary. It just sucks because it's like, where's my energy for doing like 8-hour streams? It's just like, it's gone. And basically there's not really a way to get it back without just waiting. And it's like, yeah, but I want it now. It's like, you can't have it now. You can have it back again. In March. It's like, yeah, but March isn't now. And it's like, it's not. Well, that's dumb. It's just like, sure is. Deal with it. So what I'm saying is, work within your limitations. Take care of yourselves. Don't be upset when things aren't working. Sometimes it is just how it is. And don't get me wrong, I understand that it's frustrating. There's a lot of things that I want to be doing and should be doing right now, but sometimes when you're treading water, that's all that you can do. And it sucks. March is in a min. Yeah, it'll be there. It'll come. It's just that it doesn't come fast enough ever. For the impatient. For the impatient mind. It needed to be here yesterday. And obviously that's not how this works. That's not how this works at all. But you want it to. I might just have to make it that all three of these do what they do. Yeah, looks like it. I didn't even do the shades, the shadowing on the collar. Gonna have to get on that in a second. Now, which one leads to where I want to get to again? It's like a purple sparkles. No, they're not really sparkles, are they? They're more... I have no idea how I'm going to do that lipstick here, though. I don't even know where these sparkles came from, honestly. Kind of looks neat, but we're not going to have that. What if it's just the top? What if we only do it at the top? No, not quite. Too much. What if we try a different approach? Ugh, I've never been good at lipstick. Even with the reference, I'm still like, I don't know how the heck to do this. How do you want me to do this? How does makeup even? Again, it's too large. It feels like it needs to be like this really, really small little piece. I don't know if that's the spot where it needs to be, but it feels kind of right. Like trying to mimic the actual shape of it right now, and it's very difficult. And that's why we needed the stars. Too close to the eye. Too close to the eye, too close to the end of the cheek. There, so that they glow. Hold on, let me check something. God dang it. I didn't realize that she was streaming right now. I was going to give her a quick kick of the butt and be just like, hey. Can I borrow you for something at the moment? And it's like, no, I'm busy. I'm talking about books. And it's like, well, dang it. Then I will send her this and see if she's okay with it. And if she doesn't like the way the makeup looks, then I will redo it. Easy enough. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that is where we are going to be done tonight. A little bit, an even shorter stream than usual. Goodness gracious me. One day we'll get back to our regular 3 to 4 hours. Gosh dang it all to heck. Unfortunately, that day is not today. And for some reason, Twitch like really wants me to watch this one ad. Like really, really badly. Alright, you know what? Since this was our for Lunity, I think we're going to raid Lunity. That makes the most sense to me. Now, thank you, Cobalt, for being here. Lunity is currently talking with some peeps about a book known as Dungeon Crawler Carl. So we're going to go ahead and peek on over there and be like, hey, what you doing? No, good night to you, Nyla. Thank you so much for stopping by. Very much appreciated. All right, everybody. We are going to head on over to the Lady Lunity. If you are subscribed, please use the top right message. If you are not subscribed, please use the bottom right message. Oh, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm sorry that the stream is a little bit short. It's going to unfortunately probably be like this for a while until I get out of whatever that, or I get out of this part of the year. I'm going to try to take some steps to get myself a little bit more into a better mental place, but we'll see up until then. But in the meantime, Everybody, thank you so much for sticking around. Whether you were chatting, whether you were lurking, whether you just popped in and out for a second, know that you were super appreciated. Hope you guys are having a great day, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time it happened to be for you. Hello, Ling. Goodbye, Ling. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope that you're drinking plenty of water. And when you finally do sleep, whatever time it happened to be for you, hope that you have a very restful sleep. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekends, everybody. You're totally fine, Ling. Please have yourself a great D&D. I will see you guys over at Lunati's, and I will hopefully see you sometime next week. Until then, have yourselves a great week. Have yourself a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.